Okay, looks like we are now live. So, hello everybody and welcome to the stream. Let me just mute that there. Hopefully you can all hear me and welcome to the stream. I haven't live streamed in a while because, well, I've been very busy, and I have been to a live show. I went last night to a live show, and the live show was it was Garth Marenghi, okay, which oddly enough sounds like Ferengi. I do actually have my Quark shirt on today. I don't know, that was a happy accident. But yeah, I went to see Garth Marenghi's live book tour for his new book, Incarcerat. Now, for those who aren't familiar, I will get into what it was like, and I won't be going into any kind of spoiler territory. But hello, just another watch nerd. Hello, excited for Strange New World Season 3. Well, yeah, I'm excited. As excited can be, as you can well imagine. So yeah, Garth Marenghi. So for those of you who don't know, let me just see if this thing will autofocus. It is struggling. I'm having to use a reserve camera for it, so bear with me on that one. Yeah, Garth Marenghi. So Garth Marenghi is a fictional author. Okay, those of you who know Garth Marenghi and the character of Garth Marenghi and the world that he creates or has created in the past will know exactly who he is. But for those who don't, Garth Marenghi, like I said, is a fictional author played by a character, an actor called Matt Holness. Okay, he created a show which was a fictional show called Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. The show is a little sort of hard to get your head around. It's hard to explain, but it's a very fourth wall breaking experience. So he is he's an egotistical author. He thinks himself absolutely incredible. And this is Garth Marenghi, not Matt Holness. And the story goes that back in the 1980s, he created, starred, wrote, and directed a show called Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. And it was so terrible that it didn't, that Channel 4 decided to can it, basically. But it did have a brief run in Peru. Now, it's a tough to sell to some people, but it is an incredibly funny experience. Garth Marenghi, it's so funny. The show is he shows the episodes in this show, in this sort of docu-series, but it's intercut with fake interviews with the characters, or real interviews with the fake characters, and they are all absolutely loving what they're doing, or what they did. They think it's brilliant, or at least they're trying to present it as brilliant. And Garth Marenghi's Dark Place is sort of like a diagnosis murder with horror elements, and it's a typical overblown 80s action. If you haven't seen Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, it's a very British affair, okay? It's so incredibly funny. It is on YouTube, so you can watch it on YouTube. Just type in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. So the show stars, you know, a lot of the clique of the time, really. It's got Richard Ayoade, it's got Matt Berry, it's got Stephen Merchant, and the acting is so bad on purpose. It's designed to be really funny. And it is tremendously funny. There are a couple of scenes that always stuck in my head, you know, where it's all intentional, but in the fictional world of Garth Marenghi, it's all, they did their best to make this god-awful horror series, which was just immensely bad. You know, the production quality was bad. The music was terrible. The acting was subpar and at times laughable. But it all adds to the comedy. It's absolutely fantastic. So Garth Marenghi, he is an author who's wrote, as he would say, an extensive canon of chillers. And then one of the bits that he says is, you may know me from my extensive canon of chillers, which includes Afterbirth, in which a mutated placenta attacks Bristol. You know, it's so well put together. He's a very Matt Holness. He's a very intelligent fella, and he plays it so well. So I went to see this live show with Garth Marenghi, him as Garth Marenghi, and he's reading excerpts from his new book. And the audience were all there to see Garth Marenghi. Myself and my friend included. We went together in Nottingham in the UK. And this show, if you're a fan of Garth Marenghi and everything that he does, or the character and everything that the character does, the way he is, the way he really sells his own horror, I highly recommend it. The audience were there to see Garth Marenghi, and they got exactly what they wanted to see, myself included. He is incredibly witty. His comical timing is phenomenal, and he plays this character so well. I even got a signed copy of his book, of his new book, and now this is a real book. It's a real book written by the author Garth Marenghi, who was played by Matt Holness, and some of the stuff he's put in here is absolutely phenomenal. The work that's gone into it is brilliant, and it's not his only book. I absolutely highly recommend Garth Marenghi. He's even signed it for me, bless him. So it's such a strange sort of humour. He's written his own character description as well. Hi Clayton, I'll have to look this up and give it a watch, mate. You won't be disappointed with Garth Marenghi. Seriously, it is such good humour, and he's written his own. Clayton will know what this is called, but it's like a little snippet about the author. And it's he's written it. It says Garth Marenghi was born in the past, graduated from his local comprehensive, now bulldozed, with some O-levels in subjects. He taught for 9 years at his local library reading group before becoming a full-time horror writer. He has published numerous novels of terror, too numerous to list, nay count, over 500 short stories, and has edited 30 anthologies of his own work, which have all received the Grand Master of Darkdom Award. He wrote, directed and starred in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place for the Peruvian market. which subsequently aired on Channel 4 and has not been repeated due to its radical and polemic content. He commenced work on Terror Time during the late 1980s, continued on it alone and unaided by editors throughout the 90s, and on into the early 2000s. Then, in the mid-2000s, he has only now found a publisher brave enough to unleash its chilling portentings. He now continues this vision with Incarcerate. He is an honorary fellow. And the book is written so bad on purpose, and it is truly an absolute gem. So Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, an absolutely fantastic show. Garth Marenghi in general, what a character. Now Matt Holness, as he was in character of Garth Marenghi, he did do a Q&A. And someone in the audience asked, will there be a Dark Place season 2? Are they going to do any more Dark Place? And he pretty much just said no. He says even if we wanted to, we couldn't, because the cast are all just too old and fat. That is absolutely in stitches. So there was a laugh every couple of seconds. The way he delivers his own work is just phenomenal. Vanson, hello. Are we Marenghiing? We are for a little bit at the beginning of this stream. I just wanted to talk about it because, like I say, we went to see him live, and that was an absolutely phenomenal experience. Absolutely second to none. That guy is so damn funny, and you'll see him in the thumbnail. And he's retained that 80s look because he's clinging on to what made him popular at the time in terms of the character. But it's just that Garth Marenghi is so blatantly shit at what he does, but believes himself to be like the world's best writer, and his portrayal was just spot on. Some of the, when you're sitting there watching Dark Place, you are wondering what the hell's going on, but when it's basically, because the show is so bad, they're all getting interviewed, and it's almost like they're just interviewing themselves at the end of the day. I don't think anyone's behind there asking any questions. It's literally them talking to a camera, answering questions. And they believe that they've created this masterpiece, which was just too damn good for its time, when it's actually terrible, because you can see props on string, and you can see people working, all the casting, all the crew working in the background in certain scenes. The acting's so terrible. People are missing their marks all the time, and there's just deadpan delivery everywhere. The opening scene, it's like the hospital itself is just a model, and it's so blatantly a model of a hospital. It's also roughly cut together that you can see all the continuity errors and mistakes, and it's just it's so charming as this fictional world with this fictional author. But in Incarcerate, Matt Holness is playing Garth Marenghi. Is Garth Marenghi writing his book Incarcerate, and within that story, his character is writing a book about what happened to another character. So it just keeps going down in levels, and it's so goddamn funny. It's brilliant. Vanson, Marenghi and Matt Berry's characters on screen presence is incomparably funny. Comedy tension at his best. It is absolutely. You're so spot on there. Their delivery is so perfect. It's so perfect, and I really love what they've done and how they've gone about it with Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. Again, free on YouTube. If I remember, I'll put some links in the description post live. but I've got it on DVD, and it's one of my most prized DVDs because it's even got a little booklet inside that takes you through the world. Now, there's a couple of... I was going to do a YouTube review video of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, but to be fair, it speaks for itself. You just have to go and just put it in, go watch it. It's an absolute scream. It's so funny, and it's kind of cringingly bad, but you accept it for what it is. The show itself. When you are looking at the show, the show that they've created, it's so bad, but it's such genius. It's absolutely phenomenal. So good. So much good fun. So much good fun. So yeah, a little bit about Garth Marenghi, about the experience I had last night with seeing him live. It was an absolute nightmare getting into the city centre, getting parked up. It was just awful. I believe there was a hockey match on or something at the same time. Not only that, but Christmas fairs and all of that stuff. So it was a bit of a nightmare getting in, but we did make it just in time. And we did have something to eat at Hooters. So that is that's a weird kind of boast, but it's something that I've never done, is gone to a Hooters, and we do have one here in the UK. We have a few, I believe, but one is in Nottingham. So I said to my mate, you know what, why not? Let's just go to Hooters. And we had a whale of a time. It was so funny, so good. Much respect to all the waitresses there. They were absolutely spot on, lovely, professional. But dang, So yeah, it was really good. Really good. Really enjoyed it. Fucking chair's just given way. Stupid chair. There's a little handle there. There's one for the cutting room floor. Nearly fell on my arse. So yeah, great experience. Just wanted to tell you guys about that. So we're also going to be talking about Star Trek Discovery, and yeah, glad you enjoyed Hooters, mate. Yeah, it was good. It was just a meal and a bit of a chat. It was a very loud environment. It's a sports bar at the end of the day. But again, staff just so professional. And we were sort of talking about the culture of Hooters, me and my friend, and we were talking about how the company now must exist in the woke world, and all the fire that they must be coming under. You Brits have hockey matches. I'll be honest with you, it could have been anything, mate. We surmised it must have been some sort of non-football or rugby related sport. We were literally trying to get in to Nottingham, and as soon as the show was done, we were trying to get out because it took so long to get around the city centre. Took a few wrong turns as well, and half the parking lots were sort of closed. But no, we were talking about Hooters and how they managed to keep doing what they're doing, and we were saying that the staff have to be so well protected from the worser elements of what they do. In terms of the drunken clientele and stuff like that, and it's my hat goes off to them. Much respect to them. Much respect to the company, because they do look after and keep everybody safe. And yeah, the waitresses are all just absolutely stunning, absolute stunners. But we didn't, to be quite honest with you, my mate took his glasses off, so he couldn't see anything properly. But no, it was good. Good night. So yes, unless my chair's planning to give away again, let's talk a little bit about Star Trek Discovery Season 5 and what we can expect from Star Trek Discovery Season 5. And also, we'll get into Strange New Worlds. No, I am not looking forward to watching either show as a Star Trek fan. I'm not looking forward to it at all. Simply because there's no Star Trek there. It's their interpretation of what Star Trek is and what Star Trek has become. It's so far removed from Star Trek. You have to excuse me. I am getting very dry very quickly, so I'll be slurping a lot of tea and other drinks. So, what do you guys think they're going to do with Season 5 of Discovery? Because they've got to close it off. They've got a story, if you can call it a story. They've got to close it off. Because the mess that they've made, they have to try and save face. They know they've been cancelled, and they have to try and save face at the end of it by claiming it was good. You know, in some ways they're sort of they're suffering a bit from Garth Marenghi syndrome, I think. I hope they drop the season-long mystery box format because they're quite terrible at it. Yeah, completely agree there, Clayton. They do enjoy their mystery boxes. But my guess would be that they'd continue with that path, with that particular format, because they think it works for them, and it's all they know how to do. It's the only storytelling that they know how to do, and it's not particularly impressive storytelling. You know, if you think about it, every season's been a mystery box, and it's nuts. I don't think it's going to work. There's going to be lots and lots of crying. Can't wait for Roger Corby. There is going to be a lot of crying, I think. Do you think Burnham's going to cry the most? Do you think she's going to cry the most? Or do you think that, you know, Saru's going to burst into tears? What about Detma? Is it Detma? Yeah, she can cry. Yeah, they're all going to cry. They're all going to have a big emotional farewell, and there's going to be another disrespectful nod to Star Trek in some fashion with the final episode, and some titles at the end. Just another watch nerd. Burnham will ascend and become a real space Jesus. I think it could go into Atlantis territory here, because she could ascend like the ancients, you know, like the ancients did. Oh God! Season M5. Welcome, mate. How are you? Season 5 will feature more crying, mystery box plot lines, and more canon violations. Yeah, but didn't they state with Season 3 that they couldn't violate any canon because they're in the future. They're in the far future. Yeah, ridiculous. John Chow, how are you, my friend? You right? I just cannot imagine it is worth the money for them. The only people discussing these shows are old Trek fans who can't stand them. Well, yeah, that's a reasonable point of view, because it's a reasonable point because, yeah, again, I've mentioned this before, but you go on Facebook. Now, you know, Facebook groups are heavily controlled in terms of comments on things. You know, they're sifted through. They are sifted through by an algorithm, and you'll always find the most relevant ones have been automatically selected. And the most relevant ones usually consist of people praising whatever group, whatever subject matter the group is based on. So if you've got a Red Dwarf page, they'll always be praising Red Dwarf. If you've got a Star Trek page and it's a new Trek post, for example, a post relating to New Trek, they will inherently be favourable comments, because the other ones are pushed back. They're deemed not relevant to New Trek, which I don't think is a very balanced way of doing it. Imagine if I ran my channel and anyone who disagreed with me, I just deleted their comment or put it on the back burner. It wouldn't be very fair, because that's not a balanced approach. And Facebook is full of these groups, and it really, 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 really annoys me, because it gives the illusion that something's, you know, more popular than it is. Old Trek fans, don't get me wrong, you cannot say that 100% of old Trek fans hate the new stuff. Some people really do like it. Wow, I'm seeing a lot. I've seen a lot of names I haven't seen in a while. Welcome everybody. Great to have you here. Thank you for joining. Clayton Romney, I've started scripting the video to describe how Discovery and Picard have basically damaged Star Trek for the future. Someday I hope to actually put it together. Well, yep, absolutely, mate. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. If you'd like any sort of help or anything like that, or any assistance, let me know. Not that I'm saying I can assist you, but I'm here if you need any sort of to bounce ideas off of. I'm here, mate. I'll help in any way I can. Mike Kess, how you, mate? You right? Good to have you back. A film adaptation of Star Trek Discovery by Ridley Scott would be called Teardrop Down, perfectly encapsulating the show's main theme, crying. Yeah, I'm not sure what they'd have to cry about this time round. You know, but I don't know whether there'll be another unnamed species 5C or whatever it is. Book will come back after his 2-week punishment for treason is over. Yes, but what you're forgetting, Clayton, is he will also be given a field commission to First Officer of the Discovery, and Saru will be like, he is the far superior person. Yes, I agree. I agree. He should be the First Officer of Discovery. So Michael Burnham and them and Book can have their fake disagreements, where Book says, "You know what, Michael? I don't believe that this is the right decision to make," and she just goes, "What are you playing at?" And he goes, "Oh no, I forgot you're right about everything, aren't you?" It'll be something like that. You know it will. Best way for Discovery to end is one line: computer end program. If only. If only they did that. If only. I might have mentioned this in a previous live stream, but there's a a meme going around social media, and it's it says that the Enterprise D, when it was destroyed and crash landed on Viridian 3 and saw and destroyed the star in generations, at that point when the D was destroyed, that is actually everything that happened. That did actually happen, and Picard and Kirk are still stuck in the Nexus. And everything that happened after that, First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis, Star Trek Picard, all of it happened in the Nexus. Isn't that just interesting? Because in some ways, I'd prefer, with the exception of First Contact, I'd prefer that had been the true Next Gen ending, because it would have been a damn sight better than what we actually got. Wotaj, how are you doing, mate? Good to see you back. I did not expect to see a good show like Garth Marenghi lumped in with New Trek bollocks. I do apologise. I just wanted to get it out of the way first, a little bit positive, and then cover pretty much New Trek, because that's what I do on this channel for the time being. But I did want to delve into a bit of Garth Marenghi, because Garth Marenghi it's so bloody good. Gives a little bit of contrast. But no, because I went and saw him last night, I wanted to sort of open with that and talk about the live show and how good it was. So I do apologise for lumping it in with New Trek, but you do have to have contrast. So if anything, Garth Marenghi is absolutely amazing, and New Trek is just bollocks. Vanzen, diverse space Jesus Burnham will use her tears to heal the universe, while simultaneously making all the males feel bad for doubting her. Yep. It'll be Tears Trek Discovery for sure. Tears Trek Discovery. Yeah. 100% that's what it will be. 100%. But how are they going to close it off? In terms, are they gonna set it in a different universe? Are they gonna claim that it's all in a different universe and it's not canon, or are they gonna say, "Oh, it is canon," and double down? My thoughts are obviously they'll just double down because that's what they do. I'm hoping that in one episode they'll at least cover how the Starship Discovery is a damn TARDIS with 118,000 flaws, which would explain, how their wonderfully modern and hugely scientific turbo lift system. Clayton, perfect ending, and if anyone knows how to write a good ending, it's Clayton Rumley. Perfect ending. Discovery is revealed to be a manuscript written by Benny Russell that is soundly rejected by the publisher. I both agree and disagree at the same time, my friend. Benny Russell was at least a good author. And he wrote Deep Space Nine. I don't know what would that not tarnish Benny Russell? Possibly. I'm just spitting it. It's just spitballing at the minute, throwing it out there. I would surmise that it's going to be a massive universe-ending sort of threat or galaxy-destroying threat that's going to turn out to be something completely innocent. And you can say, well, the stakes were fairly high in Enterprise. With the Xindi arc. And you could say that. And you could say that was resolved peacefully and there was no need for, too much conflict after that. But there were very well structured narrative reasons for that particular outcome. Is the aliens that then actually the Xindi were being led, but they were being led by the interdimensional aliens. There was a much bigger conspiracy, and if you compare that, okay, you've got a controlling force, which is the interdimensional aliens, okay, and they are tricking the Xindi into doing shit, convincing them that humans are going to destroy them. So they've got to strike first. So they build this weapon because the Xindi are very good at building weapons. Degra's very good at building weapons, and launch an all-out attack on Earth. There's a structure of your bad guys there. The bad guys in the end aren't really the Xindi. They were tricked and deceived. The bad guys are the interdimensional aliens. Now you contrast that with Star Trek Picard Season 3, where you have two of the biggest bads in Star Trek history. You have the Borg and you have the Changelings. The Borg and the Founders. The Founders, both of those enemies are pretty high up on a serious scale. You've got the Changelings who are not they are so vehemently against being controlled and being manipulated. They are the puppet masters. They are the founders of the Dominion. They are the ultimate top of the pyramid, and they are slaves to no one. And then you got the Borg, which is since First Contact has been led by a queen. You've got shapeshifters being subservient to the Borg Queen and working with the Borg Queen. Who gets shafted in that agreement? You're talking about two of the biggest bads in Star Trek, and they apparently, the shapeshifters are working for the Borg. What are you doing? Why are you... that's why Picard Season 3 was so underwhelming in the end, because it was just pointless. And it was so out of character with with regards to the Founders don't do shit for people. They control the Dominion. They have always had this fear of solids. Imagine, you've got solids, and they're massively unpredictable. You've got the Klingons who want to conquer. You've got the Cardassians who are cold-blooded and heartless. You've got the Romulans who are devious. And you've got the Federation, which prescribes to be the best of humanity. Still has flaws, but the Founders consider all of these species a threat. Do you honestly think they wouldn't consider the Borg a threat as well? They wouldn't work with the Borg. They're an inferior species. The Founders are the superior species there. They believe that they are. That is one of the biggest problems. So, Discovery, when Discovery does a big threat, they do something completely different and they say it wasn't their fault. It was just a freak accident. The little Kelpian threw a hissy fit and destroyed all the dilithium. It wasn't his fault. Or you've got unnamed species 10C that are from another part of the universe, or whatever the fuck is going on there. And they're aren't they strip mining? They're strip mining the galaxy, but they don't know what they're doing. So it's all innocent, and they don't know what they're doing. I just, for once, would like to see just an honest bad guy. An honest bad guy. We had Gul Dukat, who was a complex bad guy who believed he was a good guy. There were finer nuances there. But where's that in Discovery? You've got badass Orion chicks that aren't slave girls anymore, because can't have that in modern culture, I suppose. Modern sentiments and all of that stuff. But you've just got these badass bimbos, green bimbos, who are really obviously badly written and badly performed parts. But again, you take that little particular trait. You take that character, for example, the Orion pirate captain or whatever. You put her alongside Lauren in Stargate Atlantis. You put her aside next to her, and I'll tell you what, Lauren beats the absolute shit out of anything Star Trek Discovery can come up with in terms of a badass chick. Because believe it or not, there's the first. I've not seen Atlantis all the way through. I'm making my way through it now, episode by episode, and I've just seen it's Lauren, isn't it? For the second, I've seen her for the second episode that she's been in, and I just absolutely adore her. I think she's an absolute badass, and I know that, and I love John Shepherd as a character, but I know that I can see that he is afraid of this Lauren. He is like really cautiously turned on at the same time as I am. But Discovery doesn't have that. It has these really two-dimensional stereotypes, modern stereotypes of what a character should be. It's absolutely horrendous. So I would just like to see a big bad. Just being bad. No redeemable features. No, you can make it. You can make the bad guy complex. You can make them multifaceted and like an onion. You can reveal all the layers behind them, but they're still inherently bad, and they want to kill people. They want to take over. They want to conquer. Fine, do that. Surprises. Just do something a little bit different. But no, they won't. No, they won't. It'll be some force that they're having to fight, that they slowly unravel as being not as bad as they thought, and would just be I don't know, easily forgiven in the final episode. The Xindi were not easily forgiven. No, at the end of the day, yeah, they moved on from the Xindi very quickly after season 3 ended. But they closed that off because they'd covered for a whole season. But you can imagine the Xindi would not have been so forgiven so quickly. It became a case of, yeah, you messed up. Yes, in 900 years, 1,000 years, whatever, we become allies, but not yet. It's still very raw. 7 million people have died because of what you did. So there would be, I think there would be lasting consequences for hundreds of years. But Discovery they just forget it, don't they? So quickly. Oh, more comments. Sorry, I went on a bit of a rant there. Right, if Wotaj, if they're smart, they won't double down on it like Russell T Davies did with the Timeless Children rubbish. Timeless Children is not something I want to talk about. I hadn't even seen the episode, and I know that they absolutely tore Doctor Who to shreds with that episode, and it's so goddamn disrespectful. Just awful interpretation. Clayton, okay, maybe not Benny Russell, but perhaps his spoiled kids who have decided to ruin his legacy. Oh yes, that's much better. Yeah, they could be Tolkien Russell. He's decided to ruin his legacy, or think that they know what his legacy is. I mean, don't get me wrong, legacies like that and sagas like that affect different people in different ways, but they all can agree on one thing. Every Lord of the Rings fan can agree on one thing: Lord of the Rings is fucking brilliant, and that's it. Nothing more needs to be said. They can, if you accept that bottom line, Lord of the Rings is brilliant. But then you got Rings of Power, which is not. And the fan base can't agree. 90%, I say, that's a number I'm picking out of the ether there. 90% of Lord of the Rings fans hate the Rings of Power. My wife refuses to watch it. I've not seen it, and I can't say that I want to. Shockingly bad. Mike Kess, final Discovery episode, burn him until he travelled back to the 20th century in order to prevent Gene Roddenberry's birth, so that he's not able to create Star Trek as a show for these bad, toxic fans. I like that. That's a good one. Pretty meta, but yeah. Rotaj, you're right. The Dominion's distrust of solids will make them attempt to subjugate the Borg rather than being their hench beings. And yeah, okay, so one thing that I always wondered, and I can't believe it was not covered in Picard, because wouldn't it have been freaking spectacular and such a next level threat for the Borg having assimilated recent Starfleet captains and, Starfleet personnel to become aware of the changelings and assimilate the changelings. Yeah, assimilate the founders. The Borg are the biggest bad that's ever been created. So take that. Make it so the Borg assimilate the changelings, and the Borg can change shape, can alter themselves, can take on the attributes of the founders and shapeshift. They'd be able to assimilate the Federation in days, and the Federation wouldn't even know what hit them. But instead you've got to have some fucking stupid alliance that doesn't make a lick of sense. Have the Borg assimilate the changelings. The changelings having been weakened, with the war, and there being some kind of flaw in the cure that didn't, that the virus that they got it affected them, and the cure wasn't able to fix that. It was just like a damage that just can't be repaired. So the Borg exploit that and assimilate them. How phenomenal would that have been? To see Borg shape-shifting, and what a massive threat to the Federation. Yes, it would have been the Borg again, and yes, it would have just been an escalation and you know, sort of compounding the problem. But mate, that would have been such a phenomenal threat to the Federation. It wouldn't have been able to have been ignored easily. Value or nothing. I think you have to tie into the US. I think you have to tie it into the US election somehow. Yeah, isn't it weird how it's taken so long and it's going to air in 2024? That's kind of weird, isn't it? Kev Rees, I stopped watching Doctor Who because of Timeless Children. Well, to be fair, I made the decision not to ever watch Doctor Who again, and not, I haven't. I've seen all of the Eccleston Doctor Who. I've seen all of. I believe I've seen all of the Doctor Who previous. I saw the Eccleston one. I didn't like it, but I did see a couple of the Tennant ones and one of the Capaldi ones, and none of the Jodie Whittaker ones, because just no. I've seen all the clips and everything, and I think it's horrendous. Just so bad, and it's such a shame. It's such a shame, because Doctor Who doesn't need to be that at all. Yeah. Doctor Who can be something fantastic. Why they've got to ruin it? And I hate the. I just keep saying hubris, but I think it is hubris of these people to say and it's all throughout nerd, geek franchises and alternative franchises. It's all throughout that, because they come in and they say, you didn't know what you were watching. Here's what you were actually watching, and here's what actually happened. And that is just awful. I won't be watching Discovery Season 5. We'll just watch your reviews. Bless you. I agree that they will do US election stuff in an incredibly unsuitable way. Yeah. Trek has always been political, but before they made Stacey Abrams president of the Federation, it wasn't overly partisan. Exactly. Isn't that sort of telling? They didn't have any Republicans on, did they? Clayton, Picard Season 3 villains should have been the bugs from TNG Season 1. I know you keep making that point, mate, yeah. A similar threat to the Borg might require them to enlist the Borg to defeat the Borgs. Yeah, it could have been. I still like the idea of a shape-shifting Borg, though. I think that's fucking terrifying. I mean, yeah, you'd be able to easily detect that they are Borg, but still, a Borg that can shapeshift. Imagine that, and they'll be able to shapeshift technology. Wow, that would be phenomenal. Love a cup of tea. Mike Kess. Honest question. Is there anything remotely interesting in terms of assets introduced in Discovery to be reused in another Star Trek show in the future? I can't see anything like that. I can't see anything that's usable. Any ideas that are usable. I quite like the idea of the Kelpians. But what they've got to stop doing is, with prequel shows, introducing new species. Unless you're going to do it, more intelligently than they have. But no, I don't. Reusable stuff. Who honestly gives a shit about Discovery? Say for example, in our world, Discovery merch. Who's bought a model kit of the USS Discovery? I think it's an ugly ass ship. And don't get me wrong, I know it was based on the early designs of the Enterprise, but thank holy Christ, those designs weren't the final Enterprise, because my God, it'd have been a very different show then, wouldn't it? The ships, the weapons are unattractive. The internals of the ship are unattractive. The corridors, the ship itself is unattractive. The crew are just crying all the time and talking about the feelings. And it's all just been put into overdrive. So what can you take from Discovery and put in another show? Because they've already done that in Strange New Worlds. They took elements of Discovery and they made Strange New Worlds, and it was just Discovery version 1.2, wasn't it? It was just ridiculous. Monk of Magnesia, how are you, buddy? I stopped watching Discovery after its first episode. You lucky dog, you lucky dog. Discovery is and don't get me wrong, I was shot at dawn for saying it. I managed to dodge the bullets though. But Discovery season 1, when compared to what followed, is a fucking goddamn masterpiece compared to what actually followed. Discovery is a mess, but season 1 had at least something resembling a structure. Not resembling a structure, not a structure. And then its quality just went right down. Could Borg nanites overcome the control of Ketchum White? Oh yeah, I would say, Wotash, that they could, because Borg nanoprobes could generate Ketchum White if you program them to. They just need the right formula to do it, and they do. You know, I think they'd be self-sustaining Borg Jem'Hadar. Ooh, scary thought, isn't it? Roddenberry didn't want aerodynamic designs. No, and the Enterprise is anything but aerodynamic. But you don't need an aerodynamic ship in space. You just don't, because, there's no air. There's no resistance. A ship can be a ship. You just have to make it structurally sound to be able to travel at high speeds and have the ship stay together. Just another watch nerd. I have only ever bought DS9 merch. When I went to the UK destination Trek, hint hint nudge nudge, I'm sure. I only got photos with DS9 Voyager folks. Won't watch Strange New Worlds Season 3 either. Season 2 really upset me, to be honest. I feel your pain with Season 2. I gave Season 2, the finale, a sort of mid-range score. Because I wanted to be fair. Now, the trouble with doing what I do is when I say, if I really dislike the episode that I'm reviewing, I'm just going to say it. And I was like that very much in the beginning, but more so. So I'd focus on just the negative. But then I got criticised for not being balanced enough. And I thought self-reflection moment. Yeah, I'm not being very balanced, so let's take a more balanced approach. And in some ways, I end up pissing off both sides of the fence like that. But season 2 of Strange New Worlds was a huge disappointment. It was a monumental disappointment. I completely agree with you on that. Clayton Rumley, what to take away from Star Trek Discovery? Feelings, spore drive, giant tardigrades, red angel nonsense, and the burn. Yeah. And not missing out, of course, undiscovered, unnamed species 10C, or whatever it is. That are these giant floaty bubbles in space, or whatever it was. I don't even care to remember. I wouldn't want any of that in another series. I wouldn't want... I'll tell you something now, genuinely. From in here and in here, I don't want any more Star Trek shows from these people. Hi, Spree. Blimey, it's been a while. How are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, I don't want them to make any more Star Trek shows, these people. I don't think they've proven that they can't do it. They've proven that they can't do it, and their egos are just getting in the way. And they think they're amazing. They think they think they're, you know, God's gift to Star Trek. They're not. Star Trek is it's not savable. This version of Star Trek is dead. In my opinion, it's just dead. They're flogging a dead horse. If you want a chance, a real chance of having Star Trek back, Paramount, seriously, just go to him. Go to him, and he will help. He will save you. He will bring you out of the darkness. We all know who I'm talking about. Go to him and say, will you make Star Trek? But we all know you won't. You won't go to him. You won't go to him because your egos are too fucking big. Disgraceful. The best chance of saving something, and you won't give him the time of day. As if he even wants to help you. As if he even wants to do this anymore. Because he's got other projects he wants to work on, and everybody in this chat, everybody who's watching this video knows exactly who I'm talking about. He's already given us Star Trek. It's just under a different name. He's already given us that storytelling that we absolutely love. That story structure, a rich, vibrant, positive outlook for humanity. Something to admire, something to aspire to. He's already given us that. He's proven to you he can do it. So why are you not going and finding him? And asking him? Instead, you've got these absolute hacks. You've got these absolute egotistical knobs writing, directing and starring in these shitty Star Trek shows that no one actually cares about. And by no one, I mean the majority of Trek fans don't like it. Because it's crap. You think it's this incredible thing you've created. It's not. It's crap, and you know it is. So go to him, and he'll fix it. If you pay him enough money. Fucking hell, give it to the fans. The fans will fix it. But they won't do that. Because they think what they've done is incredible. A lot of them, and I'm not speaking for all of them, but a lot of them are happy that you're unhappy. They wanted, like the high school bullies, they wanted to come and piss all over your homework. They wanted to step on your toys. They wanted to destroy your memories. They're bullies. That's all they are. That's all they'll ever be. Star Trek is gone. They've destroyed it. There's no hope of getting it back unless you learn from your mistakes. But you're not going to do that, are you? Because you don't care. You have this wonderful franchise. And you are destroying it. But more importantly, and more shockingly, you're telling the fans of that franchise that they are the problem. We are not the problem. We are not problematic. We are not hateful people. We are in fact filled with love for something. You are the narcissists coming in to ruin everything. And you've done it. Congratulations. Hope you feel awesome about yourselves. You're disgusting. And we see you for what you really are. So Paramount, if you want to make money, go and find him. Go to him. Make an offer. And let's get Star Trek back on track. Absolute weasels. Fuck. Sorry, guys. Went off on one there. Sorry. Sorry. I just got a little carried away. Spree, I'm doing good. I'm glad to hear it. Glad you're here with us. Thank you for joining. It's always good to hear from everybody in the chat. We'll have to do a live stream again. Wotaj, even my strange new... no, sorry, I beg your pardon. Even my SJW friends say the Orville is better than it has any right to be. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I think it's earned that right now. I think it's earned a place. It's earned its place. Agreed, the Orville is better than New Trek. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yes, rest in peace, New Trek. I suspect the viewing figures will be for Strange New World Season 3 will be low given the shit show that was Season 2. And wasn't it just? What a mishmash hodgepodge of absolute crap. God, I've never seen a more disjointed season of serialized television. Really not thinking. Really haven't. Mike cares. Michelle Yeoh is 61 years old. If much more time passes, she'll be New Trek's stunning and brave example of Star Trek's first geriatric female action hero in a leading role. Well, more power to her, because I'll tell you what, Michelle Yeoh is a highlight of anyone's day, isn't she? Really, she's absolutely cracking, is she not? She is. I think she's brilliant. I really do. I'm not talking, of course, about her Discovery character. That is just not her in my mind. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was a crazy film, but it was absolutely phenomenal, and she was so good in that. House of Flying Daggers. Was it House of Flying Daggers? I'm sure it was House of Flying Daggers. She was absolutely phenomenal in that as well. Michelle Yeoh is brilliant, and I think she's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I do. Doesn't matter what her age is. I think she's absolutely brilliant. Value was nothing. McFarlane even made episodes about trans kids and Dolly Parton. Paramount has no excuse. The way I see it, the Orville did it right. They were able to tell these stories, but they told them from an objective perspective. They were in an objective perspective. It was balanced and left you thinking, because you can think for yourself. Well said, friend, like a preacher. No, but yeah, sorry, mate. I appreciate that, my friend, but I went on a little bit of a rant there. I might actually section that rant and chuck it up to my channel as another Danger Man rant, maybe. But no, I don't. I tend to get carried away now and then. I would like to Spree. I would like to see another season of the Orville. I think you're right. Yeah, I think I agree with that. I would also like to see another season of the Orville, but I don't think they will. I hope they do, but I don't think they will. I don't think it'll get greenlit. I just don't. Monk of Magnesia. Michelle Yeoh's last name is actually Khan. Khan! What? My guess, smiley face. Yeah. I think I've lost a few viewers after that rant. Crazy. But yeah, Discovery, not bringing anything new to the table. What a surprise. And season 5 is going to be more of the same. They've already said it's going to be more of the same. You remember every time they say, oh, the next season of Star Trek's going to be something different. It's going to be a different style and different, yeah. It's going to be the same. The same drivel, the same shit that they've brought out before. It's just going to be more feelings, more contrivances in space, more plot conveniences, more terrible writing, more bad exposition, and more space. Jesus, saving the day. I'm actually wondering if this season they turn it around and some of the crew, some of the other members of the crew get to save the day, while Burnham sits there in the captain's chair looking completely fucking useless. Spree, I don't think they will either, unfortunately. No, I don't think they will. I don't think they'll come out with another season. I so badly want them to, but at the same time, season 3 was, I think, really good as more of a spiritual successor to Star Trek. Season 1 was, Oh, oops! It's actually King. My mistake. It's close though. It's close. It's almost between Khan and Kang. So, you're saying it's Garth Marenghi? No, no. Yeah, Discovery just bringing nothing new. Do you think we'd probably end up seeing the destruction of the starship Discovery? Like just the ship. They won't kill the crew off because they're just absolutely amazing at everything, aren't they? What Discovery did to Yo is unforgivable. An Oscar-winning actress playing a one-dimensional evil villain. Yeah, I can agree with that. That was unfortunate, wasn't it? Really unfortunate. But hey, Michelle Yeoh Chu Kang. Nice. She wasn't one-dimensional. She too came around to realise that Michael Burnham was Space Jesus. Yeah. He's got a good point there. Value, because she came around. To well, actually, in the first season, didn't she always think Michael was special? Michael was amazing and awesome, and then Michael Burnham in the parallel universe betrayed her. And then when Burnham went over there, Prime, I want to call her Prime Burnham, Burnham. I won't. She went over there and took the place of Burnham, and yeah, they brought Michelle Yeoh's character back to the normal for Discovery universe, and then it was just over the course of time you could see her just going, oh yeah, Michael, you are so amazing. It's horrible to see. Just not the watch now, please, God. They destroy this Discovery. The only thing that would be worse than Disco will be Starfleet Academy. Written in part. Oh, by Mariner. No. Mariner. Lower Decks in general, just ugh, horrible. Coma. Good evening, Mr. Danger. What are your predictions for the final season of Discovery? Pleased with impressions? Well, I've already done a few. You've missed a few. I also did. I also went off on a mad tangent again, so I had to apologise to everybody, but I got rather impassioned about it. Mike Kess, Gabriel Lorca. I liked the character, flawed but interesting. Yeah, he was the most intriguing character until they just made him into this real simpleton. He was just trying to get back to his universe. I'd have liked to have seen a show with him being the main character. Screw Space Jesus. Make Lorca Lorca was way more interesting than Michael Burnham. Bayou nothing. True. Yeah. So my predictions for the final season. It's hard to make predictions based on the very little that we've seen, but as people have been saying, we think that it will be a case of Space Jesus has to save the day again for one final time. Do we? And here's a question for all of you. Do we think? And I'm not looking at the camera again, but it doesn't matter. Fuck it. Do you think that they will kill off Space Jesus and she makes the ultimate sacrifice for the Discovery? What do we think? Go. Discuss. Working on any new impressions. Give us your best Trump. Oh, I'm not sure I could do Trump. It's ever so slightly deep and nasally, isn't it? Like, that's just fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah, we really like that here. It's really good. Okay, we like a lot of the strong women. Okay, don't talk so much nonsense. Okay, that's the best I can do. Not even sure that sounded like Trump. No way. No one ever dies. In She-Trek. Well, that's not true. The Admiral Cornhole died. I love the way Gary from Nerderotic describes it. Admiral Cornhole. Trump. I won't say that name too many times. God knows what they'll do to my stream. But yeah, I don't know. It would seem if they're going to end Discovery, they're going to, they're going to have to put that final nail in the coffin. What they think is actually some kind of beautifully wrapped Christmas present. Is actually a coffin of Star Trek. That final nail will be Burnham making the ultimate sacrifice and being revealed as a Q member of the Q Continuum. I don't know. Coma needs more conviction, but it's getting there. It's very true. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I can then treating Michael Burnham like Neo in The Matrix 3. Wouldn't you love to see that? Michael Burnham just being Neo for an entire season. Flying kicks and bullet dodging and phaser rifle dodging. That'll be hilarious. You're good with impressions. Keep working on them. Oh, thank you very much. I do try. That was a pretty good Trump. Thank you very much, Clayton. We find out that all of Star Trek Discovery was a magic mushroom trip. If that's a magic mushroom trip, I recommend no one ever touch them again. And that's the honest truth. Don't do it. Don't do it, you fools. It's just nightmarish, isn't it? Ghoulish. How about an Owen Wilson? I've been working on a bit of Owen Wilson, I'll be honest with you. Every now and then I'll just go, wow. But that's pretty much all I can do is just, wow. I think I've got to get more nasally for that, I think. They can't kill off Burnham because then the fans would not watch Strange New Worlds. I don't know. I don't think Burnham's a great driving force behind Strange New Worlds. I don't think Pike's a great driving force behind Strange New Worlds. I don't think... Is there any one character that Strange New Worlds just deals with, or is it just all the women? And I'm not being sexist or anything. It's just the show focuses on all the female characters, and all the male ones are just like dweebs and nerds, and you know these. That was a good wow, thank you. Wow. John Cho out loud. Yeah, I don't know. Strange New Worlds doesn't really have a leading character, do they? Does it? I can't think of a single one. They're all pretty shit, but hey. Actually, you raised a good point about the Q. They'll probably welcome her into the continuum as the greatest human who has ever lived, and she'll level up. She won't be a Q. She'll be like Grand Master Q. It's the Lady Noonian. Yeah, she'll be Grand Master Q. She'll be like the ultimate Q. You know. And she'll have earned it in some obscure fashion. Watch nerd. Strange New World focuses on making Spock an idiot, whilst elevating Ortega's and Uhura in particular. They also have a serial killer in the medical officer. I love any time anyone reminds me about Mbenga, because he's just he might as well be called Dexter. Because he is just a complete psychopath. You know, I took an oath to do no harm. But you got to find me someone to kill. What? You know, Crusher was known as the Dancing Doctor. I wonder what Mbenga's going to be called. Dr. Death? Jesus Christ! I mean, every time that character just volunteers for any sort of bloodthirsty mission, I'm like, you know what? You're not playing a Klingon. You're playing a human. You're a human, and you want to just kill all these different people. It's just ridiculous. It's so shocking. Wotaj, many people focus on Captain Pike as a silver fox. It's kind of off-putting. Yeah. Pike's just a cook. You know. He's just a cook. He's not even a chef, he's a cook. Basically, every episode he just hosts dinner. So the other crew and officers can talk about shit that's going on. And he'll just go, what was that? Oh. Well, I'm the captain. Shouldn't I be authorising? What do you mean, shut up and cook? Wait. I'm the Okay. Yeah, I'll just be in here cooking. Yeah. Just flip me eggs. It's my ship. I'm in charge. Do you want them... No, Captain's talking now. Do you want them scrambled? Do you want them scrambled? No, I'm not trying to run the ship or anything. I just want to know if you want your fucking eggs scrambled or not. Fine, yes, thank you. Scrambled. God, I don't know why I bother. It's my fucking ship. Yes, it is. It's my ship. I'm the captain. There's no need for that. That's what it feels like every time you cook or cook. yeah. Who knows? Don't know the difference, these guys. Oh, nuts. Oh, Mbenga. No. I mean, at least Hemmer was at least somewhat decent. You know, he was all right, wasn't he? He was okay. Yeah, bit obnoxious at the beginning, but not too bad. Holy crap! I need a shave. So yeah, I was on someone else's channel. Funny enough, my video appeared on someone else's channel. They were doing a review of it. I mentioned this a few like a week or so ago, and they said if I shaved my beard, I have a most fabulous mustache. My wife says don't do it. Sort of get some length here and just turn it over. I think I'd look a bit daft though. So yeah, Discovery season finale is probably going to be they save the day in the first 5 minutes of the episode and then do a sort of epilogue, and you'll have all the crew walking through the corridors, and you'll have the janitor following them with a mop to mop up all the tears, to pick up all the various hankies and Kleenexes and stuff, and yeah, they'll all be crying and they won't want to say goodbye, and it'll be 45 to 50 minutes of goodbyes. And then, do you think they'll break the fourth wall in a separate scene and talk to the viewer? Kind of like, well, I don't think it was a fourth wall break in particular, but there was a segment afterwards of the finale of Supernatural where they spoke to people. Life is too short to not have a mustache for a while. Go do it. It will grow out fast. Yeah. This grows phenomenally fast. It's unreal. I can literally take this down to a number 2, and it'll be back to a number 5 by the end of the week. It's insane. It's so hard to keep up with. But yet here and here barely anything grows. It's all under the chin, and pretty thin under the chin. But want to get on to Strange New Worlds? Do we want to talk about Strange New Worlds Season 3 and where they could be taking that? Or do you want to stay on Discovery for a bit? I just didn't feel drawn towards any of the Strange New World cast in Season 2. Was very different towards them all. Chappelle's arc was also ridiculous. Yeah, it was. Also, do a mustache if you want. Why not? It depends whether I really want it or not, because I don't know. It's a hard decision to make. It has come down quite a lot. Got the old Freddy going on here. I don't know. We'll see. You'll soon know, because I'll post a picture if I do it. How much weight has Tilly gained? I don't go much into how big someone is or how little they are. All I'll say is there is a noticeable difference between Tilly Season 1 and Tilly Season 4. Has she gained any more weight? I don't know, but I hope we see more of Tilly. Now, you either mean that in the context of screen appearance, at times she appears on screen, or how much of her is appearing on screen. I don't know. There's always more to see from Tilly. I just don't like the character at all. I don't. I really don't. I think she's incredibly annoying. She's basically the new Wesley Crusher type, level of annoying, if not a little bit more annoying. So yeah, not massive fan of the old Tilly. I'm sure the actress is a lovely person. I don't know. I've never met her. But the character of Tilly is stupid. Stupid character. There's no on these ships. There's no structure. There's no chain of command. Everybody can just talk to anybody they want, about anything. You know, usually nothing to do with their job, and everyone's just happy with that. It makes no goddamn sense to me. It's senseless, absolutely senseless. But we have other characters we can depend on, like Culber, Dr. Culber. You know, the doctor of the chief medical officer of the Starship Discovery, the one that died and came back. And we got Stamets, who's like the greatest engineer in the world, and is just always ready and willing to listen to Tilly. And don't they have a non-binary, non-gender conforming adopted child person, where they've simply just decided to become parental figures to... I will remember the name of this person. What is the name of this person? Adira? Or Cheaper? I don't know. I think it's Dira. And they there's loads of interesting characters, and you've got the non-conforming, non-gendered ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, thing friend of whatever. Anyway, the blue-haired individual. There's another interesting character. You've got who else is in Discovery? You've got Admiral Stupid, played by a terrific actor and barely ever used, and always never punishing Burnham for being not awesome. Ridiculous. Who else we got? Is the Orion lady I mentioned earlier still in it? I don't think she is. Is she? I can't remember. Either way, you've got some really rich, vibrant characters there who you want to just see the end of it, don't you? Just to know what happened to these people that you have cared for five seasons of Discovery. The people who have grown close to your heart. The people who have entered your lives, made a difference. Who inspire you to be better people. Oh wait, that's not New Trek. New Trek never does that. It's a freaking New Trek inspiring people. What an absolute gaffe. Is the gender changing operation reversible in Star Trek? I think if they can surgically alter a human to look like a Klingon and then swap them back, and if they can take Tom Fishy Paris and Catherine Fishy Janeway and turn them back into humans, I think it's not beyond the realm of possibility there, my friend. It's not beyond the realm. It may be a possibility. Maybe, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they were able to do it. It would surprise me if they were able to tell a story that was even worth knowing. The actress who played Laan Noonien Singh, which is Christina Chong, as you're right, was in Doctor Who, A Good Man Goes to War. That I did not know. I just know that they made her look so much like everyone's favourite belter. And they made a really attractive woman as unattractive as possible. As horrible looking as possible. The whole point of Trek, really, about the universe, is humans being the best version of themselves. You ever notice that? All the stories were about humans trying to be the best version of themselves, no matter what the perspective. Now it's just become messaging. It's all about the message. Star Trek was never about the message. The message, you know, it was never about the message. Yes, it had elements of the message in it, but they were objective. They were they were neutral. It was always on neutral ground. Why make Christina Chong look horrendous on screen? Why not make her look like she does look in life, attractive, you know? But no, she has her pulling some really horrid faces. They do, don't they? They have her pulling some horrible faces, and it just makes the character so much uglier. Not on the outside, but on the inside. There's nothing endearing about our Noonien Singh. She's like a robotic version of Tasha Yar that you just don't like. Yeah, Discount Drummer is another attempt to make Star Trek into the Expanse. Yeah. Yeah, because it can draw no inspiration from anywhere and be original. It can reference itself and it can pull ideas from itself. But it can't make anything original or new. Or a new take on something. It has to be, well, that character was well liked in The Expanse, let's put her in Star Trek instead. The Expanse is far superior to Strange New Worlds, though. Discount Drummer. Yeah. I like coining little phrases like that. And the lever on my chair has once again come out. So there you go, back in. The Expanse is far superior. I've still not finished it. I'm on season 3, I think. The trouble is with The Expanse, it's a mood killer, for absolute certain. If you get too engrossed in it, it can really kill your mood. It takes you a few days to get back to normal. IRO, hello, how are you? Thank you for commenting. I was taught that purposely making a woman look unattractive was egregious cruel. New media does this as a cantrip and causes evil, sexist, and everything that they can think of. Yeah. No, I mean, I opened this stream talking about Garth Marenghi and how I went to see him, but I also went to Hooters last night in Nottingham. Fantastic place to go. We saw families there and everything. It was great because it was such a welcoming environment. Once you get past the doorman who says, "Have you made a reservation?" Yeah, I've made a reservation. Oh, in you go then, mate. Yeah, they got to keep the people off the street, drunk people off the street. But yeah, those girls are very, 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 very attractive. But they're there to be attractive. You know, it's part of the makeup of their job, no pun intended. And you're not gonna make any money in a Hooters bar filled with, no, and I'm not being disrespectful or anything, I was just being honest, filled with morbidly obese individuals with bad teeth, greasy, lice-filled hair, and insanely bad breath. You're not going to employ them because they're not going to help your business grow. That's not why that's not your business plan. That's not in your business plan. It's not your image. What you're putting out there. And I don't like the way the media is going at the minute in terms of all media. We're saying everybody looks good enough for television. Do you think, honestly, guys, do you think this is a face for freaking television? This is why it's on YouTube, not on television. I'm not an actor. This face does not make money. I'll guarantee you that now. It does when it pulls silly expressions and does stupid YouTube videos, but I'm just Joe Average. I'm not Brad Pitt. I'm not freaking Robert Downey Jr. I'm not... Certainly not freaking... shit, what's his name? Ryan Reynolds. They They are attractive people, and they've made their way to stardom. And part of the reason they're so popular is because they're attractive. They're appealing to look at. Here's a little experiment for you. If you disagree with me, go and watch The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Go on, go and watch The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. In that film, damn, he's a bit hunky, isn't he? That's coming from a heterosexual male with a wife downstairs. He is pretty dishy as hell. Now go and watch him in The Whale. Go and watch him in The Whale. And see if you're still still find him attractive. Because I guarantee you don't. Unless you're one of the people who just say, well, beauty's on the inside. It's like, no, personality's on the inside. You can be a beautiful person, but if you don't look after yourself, then you're not getting anywhere. Yeah, and I know a lot of these actors and actresses have work done. Of course they do. They've got to, be a bit younger. Let's see if I can make myself younger. There you go. I've knocked 10 years off. I wouldn't do that. You can be... I don't understand. It's like you aspire to be Brad Pitt, for example, or fucking Downey Jr. or Ryan Reynolds. It doesn't matter. You aspire to be them. But you can never be, because this is you. Yeah? You can't aspire to be them. So what Hollywood's doing with the film industry and the media industry is bringing the level down of what's acceptable. An acceptable thing to reach for. And it's common across all forms of societal structure. They always bring down the passing grade to allow everybody to get there. Instead of having enough about you to say, I'm not getting there. I know I'll never be in Hollywood. I know I'll never be a movie star. I know, because this face isn't going to sell a damn thing. But you know what? I find comfort in knowing that. And I'll let you in on something you guys may not know. From the age of 5 to the age of 13, I was epileptic. Massively epileptic. Okay, fits during the night. Fits would go on for what seemed like hours. Paralysing fits. It's horrible. Scary as hell as a child. But I got past it because it was brought on artificially. Say artificially. It was brought on by childhood virus, and it was instigated by that. So it wasn't permanent. So I eventually my brain finished developing properly, and it wasn't susceptible to things. Okay, now I don't tell many people this, but I'm telling the world now, apparently. But that's not my point. My point is I was epileptic. So at school, when we were doing careers, I was sat down and told there were certain things in this world that I could not do. Okay, because of that condition. Because of something that was biologically beyond my control, something that happened to me, I could not do it. I'm looking at the camera now. So I could never be an airline pilot. Which is weird, because I think I can be a bus driver. But I can never be an airline pilot. I can fly. I think I'm allowed to fly like a small single engine. But I'm not allowed to fly a commercial jet. I'm not allowed to be an astronaut. I wouldn't qualify. And I think there are restrictions with the military as well, because I wouldn't pass a physical. Now, I'm not saying that I aspire to be an astronaut, because I don't. You have to accept there are certain limitations with life and the things that you can do. But you know what? I wouldn't want the world to change for me to allow me to become an astronaut, because it's just not practical. Nor is making all of the actors and actresses just appear as ugly as possible, just to make normal people feel better. The world is a harsh place. It's competitive. We're a competitive species. Capitalism is a competitive environment, and you find the people who moan about capitalism are the people who are losing. Because I can guarantee you, those people moaning about the state of the world, state of the West because of capitalism, would not be moaning if they were the winners. Would they? They wouldn't be moaning. Be like, oh my God, I'm like one of the 1%. That's amazing. They wouldn't want any other system. So yeah, life is unfair. Hollywood in general is lowering the bar so much that anyone can be a star. Anyone can be a star. They can't. You can aspire to be, and that's where these celebrities are really, this where the level is set. It's something for you to aspire to. But if you're aspiring to something that's here, when you should be aiming up here, how are you going to get better at anything? Yes, you can accept limitations on your own life, but how are you going to improve or better yourself by making the tests easier? You're not. Survival of the fittest, and Star Trek especially lies to you about what the fittest are, and Telly's a good example. Let's have a run. I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but there was a point. I hope you find it somewhere, because I'm not sure I did. But yeah, Tilly can run faster than another member of the crew who's short and athletic. She can run faster and longer because she's Tilly. She wouldn't be physically able to do it. She might be a great runner, but she's not streamlined. She's not going to win. You have to change the rules in order for people to win, certain people to win anyway. I'm just going on. Sorry. Especially chatting to you guys as well. Monk of Magnesia. Hooters should offer a delivery service and call it Knockers. It's a good one. Yeah, Knockers. I like that. The thing is, if you're going into a place like Hooters, it's just a place to go and eat, where the bar staff and the waitresses happen to be wearing a lot less than they normally would. They're still covered, but my word. Anyway, enough about Hooters. Seriously, I brought it up. I'm dropping it. So, Strange New Worlds. Shall we go into Strange New Worlds? We've done a bit of time on Discovery. Let's focus on Strange New Worlds. Season 3 and what we can expect from Season 3. Because when we left Strange New Worlds at the end of Season 2, we left a very confused looking Pike who didn't know what to do because he wasn't in the kitchen. He wasn't cooking, so he didn't know what to do. He was like standing there looking like just the most panicked and confused little simp boy I've ever seen on screen. Completely useless. You remember seeing in Enterprise, which was Terra Prime, was it? Not Terra Prime. Azati Prime. Ugh, getting them mixed up. Azati Prime. Where the Enterprise gets battered and the camera zooms in onto Paul and she's just like, I don't know what to do. She was affected by, she's been taking the drug, isn't she? Not the drug, the Trellium. And the camera zooms in on her and she's looking kind of like a little panicked and a little uncertain. And at that point you're left wondering, what's going on? Why is she suddenly losing her logic or her cool? What's going on there? And yet when Pike does it, it's like he's a deer in the freaking headlights. You think, what are you playing at, man? Why are you so confused by what's going on? They're attacking you. Why are you panicking? You're a starship captain. React! You're not an inexperienced starship captain. React! You know, be decisive. Just ridiculous. Wonderful thing about Star Trek that new Trek never had was hope for the better tomorrow. Wasn't it just, Spree? Hope for a better tomorrow. Something to aspire to. And that was my whole point that I was trying to dig out of the back of my brain. As stupid and deficient as it is. That's what I was trying to pick out. Star Trek gave you something to aspire to. But because you make it a level playing field, it's kind of like a mirror to socialism, isn't it? And communism. These other structures we know don't work because they level the playing field. There's no advancement. There's no incentive to really. There's no entrepreneurship. You bring the standard down, people don't have to go as far because it's too difficult to go that far. That's the way the world's going, in my opinion. Ridiculous. Strange New Worlds has Ortega's strange new hairstyle that no one else in the Federation has, and it's awful. Monk of Magnesia. If you've seen my videos, as half as much as I think you have, you know that I don't like Erica Ortega's hair either. You are not alone in this world, my friend. It's awful. So out of place. Yes, I reckon Mbenga will increase his kill count by 3. As low as 3, you say? I don't know. I think for the next season, at some point he's going to commit genocide of some sort, whether it be intentional or not. It wouldn't be his fault, mind you, would it? It's New Trek. No one has to take responsibility, so it wouldn't be his fault. It'd be like he lost his temper, and in trying to kill those 3 people, he missed and accidentally hit the big red button. But he only gets a slap on the wrist for it because it was an accident, and he didn't mean for it to happen. I can imagine it's going to be something like that. Watch Nerd. Discount Drummer will scowl for 9 episodes, but may crack a smile in 1. That's the odds of that happening are quite slim. That's a lot of stake to put in the game. I don't know whether I don't know. Maybe you're right. If she does crack a smile, Spree Aubrey. Oh, sorry, I missed one. Value. They are talking about who is playing Chapel's boyfriend, Roger Kirby. God. Well, we've had Jim Carrey look alike as Kirk, so it depends how much they like him or dislike him. Value is nothing. I'll be interested to see who it is, but I won't be watching or just watch Danger Man reviews. Oh, bless you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to some video making. It's very difficult these days to get a video done. To pick a subject and get a video done. I'm not wildly creative. I need something to react to. I need to analyze something, and it's very difficult to do a video on just anything. Clayton, as a massive multi-series finale, Spock has to rally all his parents' adopted and bastard children, Avengers style, to save Trip from the events of These Are the Voyages. Yes. Yes, These Are the Voyages. Did nothing for Trip. Oh, God. Yeah. Poor Trip. What a disservice to the character. Just realised I have Gary Sinise levels of bags under my eyes. I must be getting tired. I think actually I just thought at her now, and the bags are gone. That's better. Yeah. There you go. Bags are gone. Officially gone. God, I'm dead conscious of my bags now. Ah, well. I've got my wife. I don't need anybody else. She loves me no matter what. If my face was hanging half off, she'd probably still love me, but she'd still leave me. I'm going to have her on for a stream, by the way, for everybody who is watching, post or actually live. I'm going to do a stream with the wife where she's going to give her perspective on Star Trek. She doesn't have the history with the franchise that I do, but she will have some, no doubt, big insights on that. I'm looking forward to that. You guys should too, because she's lovely, my wife. Absolutely love her. Monk of Magnesia, Helmet Head. In TOS, and Benga is on board as an expert in Vulcan biology. So in Strange New Worlds, he can kill how many he likes. He will never be at fault. Wotaj, too many characters in Discovery and Strange New Worlds are snarky and unprofessional. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's one of the things, biggest things I've pointed out in my videos, is that no one seems to respect the chain of command or authority in any way. They're all very all very dismissive of it, aren't they? It's really bad. Right, as just, yes, it is a trope of New Trek. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Clayton Rumley, Clayton Rumley, that's a better idea than anyone at Secret Hideout or Bad Robot has been able to devise. Yeah. As I've said before, they will do nothing to admit that they have done anything wrong. They'll do nothing to admit, because they don't need to. Because they have the rights for Star Trek, and it's their toy, and they're playing with it, and they're bastardizing it, and they're destroying it. And they're telling you that you were wrong for liking what the toy used to represent. You must now like this scratched, battered version of the toy. It was not good when it was mint in package. Absolutely not. With all its little flaws and all its little wrong bits of paint in wrong places and frayed edges here and there. That wasn't good enough. So they come in and they've pulled its arms and legs off and the heads off the action figure, and they put the legs on top of the head and put the head on one of the arms, and then the leg on one of the other arms, and then you know they put the arms as feet, and then they've graffitied all over it and put bestest person ever, and they've presented you with this twisted action figure that is just not in any way representative of what it used to be, and then they're saying you are wrong for liking it when it was in the package in its original format. That is pretty much what I think about it. They do not understand where you're coming from. where we as fans are coming from. They don't understand it. I'm actually catching a cold. I'm fairly certain I'm catching a cold because I can feel it here in the back of my throat. It's getting harder to swallow. All this talking I'm doing. I'm not very talkative. You ask anyone who knows me, I'm not massively talkative, so you are getting a very different version of me right now. I just talk. Strange New Worlds. Will we see any cameos by any of other series characters that we haven't already seen? So we've had the Lower Decks crossover. I'm half expecting them to try and convince Bakula to come in and play a flashback version of Archer, or something like that, for them to travel back to the NX-01 program and, I don't know, step on an acorn that's wrong. I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm half expecting them to try and bring some big ass cameo for the first season, because they know the second season didn't work, but in their opinions, it did work. It did work, and from their point of view, it was a massive success, because that's how they're manipulating all the scores. And we know they're doing it because there's proof of it all over the fucking place. You only have to have your brain switched on for a microsecond to realise what they're doing. But they are, it's not going to change the way they do things. They're just going to keep doing what they're doing. So yes, Strange New Worlds will be interesting. Up on my ass off, I think they might do that with season 3. I suspect viewing figures massively dropped off in season 2. I completely agree. That is more than likely the possibility. Simply because season 2 was very disjointed. It had a bookend story, didn't it? It opened up with a Gorn and finished with the Gorn, but had no Gorn in between. Just one reference to a Gorn attack ship. And the episodes in between were filled with time travel episodes, Lower Decks crossovers, singing musicals, Klingon ambassador Mbenga murder, and those are the ones I can just the ones that I can remember. Even the die-hard New Trek fans I know admit that Strange New Worlds wasn't as good as season 1. Well, season 1 wasn't as good as normal Trek, but it was sort of the best I'd seen. But it still wasn't very good. And then season 2 happened. And it was worse. Somehow. Just worse. It's like, yeah, there's the one where La'an and Kirk go back in time. There were that many problems with that episode. Chronologically, things that were seriously wrong, and the amount of conveniences that took place in that episode were staggering. But at the same time, it's not just that, it's the representation of the temporal investigations department being actual temporal agents. So no, Department of Temporal Investigations are not temporal agents. They are a branch of the existing Federation charter, which is there to investigate any temporal incursions that the Federation are responsible for, or involve Federation officers. They're not temporal agents. They they're not from the relativity. It's ridiculous. Escalum, how are you, mate? Femlex's haircut, Ortega is so off-putting. Yes, Ortega, the one with the hideous haircut, so offensive. Yeah. Awful haircut. I don't know why. Hey, each into their own. People want to look like that, so that's absolutely fine. But to be fair, I'm not far off it. I'm not far off Ortega's haircut. and it sucks. It absolutely sucks. What a horrible haircut. Oh, I like how Ortega's haircut. Spree likes, or hey, that again, each into their own. If you like the haircut, that's great. But I don't. I really don't. I don't. It's not that I wouldn't choose. Yeah, I wouldn't choose to have that haircut. But I also don't think it looks very good on other people. It's a subjective opinion with regards to her hair because I don't like it. I don't find that hair makes her an attractive person at all. And the mere fact that her eyebrows are at times bigger than her hair. By the way, did you know she flies a ship? Get out of here. I don't believe you. She doesn't fly the ship. No point has that been referenced in Strange New Worlds that she flies the ship. I thought she was a science officer. Rotash, how desperate were they for ideas to greenlight a musical episode? Coincidentally, Jumping the Shark was from Happy Days, another Paramount show. Yeah, irony. It's a bitch, innit? No. The musical was inexplicable and hobbled together. You see, the Buffy musical was very well written and well put together because it was years of planning. They knew they wanted to do a musical for many, many seasons, and they left it long enough to perfect it and make it a decent episode. Excuse me, gonna yawn. That's a quick one. But Strange New Worlds just tried to dream something up, and it showed. It really showed. Escalum, the promotion of Femles. Oh, I get where you're coming from there. Haircuts in Boba Fett and Mandalorians was annoying. Boy band Klingons, says Spree. Yep, boy band Klingons, absolutely. Clayton, I keep trying to get into season 2 of Strange New Worlds. I started episode 1 and a couple of months ago. Got 5 minutes in and then just stopped. Haven't been back. Sounds like I haven't missed much. You've missed. I'll be honest with you, Clayton. You've missed a lot. You've missed a lot, but there's not a lot of substance in that lot of whatever they put out. The episodes as sort of individual episodes aren't bad. They're just not great. There's nothing. They're just convenient, all of them. Absolutely, every single one of them is just rife with convenience, and I don't like that. And I know as a storyteller, you don't like that either. I liked the musical episode. Spock was awesome. I assume that's sarcasm. The Klingons should have been Klingon opera. I totally agree, should have been Klingon opera. I said that in my review. I completely agree with you guys. It should have been Klingon opera. But someone in my comments section did say, no, they were portrayed as a K-pop boy band, and that's where their dishonor came from. That's why they were dishonored. But they would still be mightily miffed that Starfleet had released some kind of musical fucking spell on them to make them burst into song. I think you're missing the point there. Made them into clowns. Yeah, they did. They also, didn't they made them shiny, like some kind of bad stage production of Westlife or something. Would they really, when you go to live singing concerts, it's not just them, the artists singing. It's also, they got ridiculous wardrobe stuff and everything. It's awful. It just looks bad, looks cheap, looks like foil. And the Klingons were no different. You don't fly a ship, you pilot it. Also, ships would have a dozen helmsmen to take over. Well, Voyager did. You can see Tom Paris at his station every single hour of every single day. Of course not the shifts. They'd need at least 3 helmsmen. All working 8-hour shifts. And then one was off sick or got killed. You'd have them two of them doing 12-hour shifts. But Voyager would have at least 10 pilots. 10 capable pilots that could fly the ship. You need that. It's called demand. You know, you'd need at least 10 science officers, at least 10 tactical officers, at the very least 20 operations officers. You'd need 50 engineers, 10 of which would have to know every system and be equivalent to the chief engineer. You'd need 10 transporter chiefs. You'd need, you know, it goes on and on. They thought about this in the writing room, you know, with shows like Voyager. Give a crew complement that could run the ship. They think about each of these sections that needed running. They must have gotten loads of complaints about Ortega, as they made an entire episode about why we should like her. Yeah. And did anyone end up liking her? I know I didn't. No way. Not a chance. I don't think I'll ever like that character. And to be honest with you, I did like Pike, but I don't think I'll ever like Pike again. That's Pike. I'll never like Pike. It's just they've cut his balls off. He's not the captain anymore. There's a cook with captain's uniform on. Who just says things like, you know, yeah, you did the wrong thing, but there was a right consequence, so that's okay. Jesus Christ! Your kid sticks their hand near a fire. You say no, don't do that, and they do it, and then you turn around and said, you did the wrong thing, but it's okay. What kind of mentality is that for a leader? What kind of example does that set? Season 2 was awful. Season 3, I don't think it will be any better. And they really have got to stop with the Gorn already. They changed the Gorn. They made the Gorn worse. They made the Gorn stupid. More like a parasite than a species. Just awful. Awful. Get off the Gorn. Get off the Gorn. What do we think season 3 will be about? I'm getting tired now, guys, but I'm going to stay with you. What do you think season 3 is going to be about? Because I can guarantee it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. It's just going to be... I think Pike will spend a lot more time in the kitchen. I think his hair will get more ridiculous. His hair will be able to hold a chef's hat without actually touching his head. One is ill or away or sick. Remember TOS or is sitting in the captain's chair. Yeah, you've got to have sufficient cover throughout the ship. Also, Pike is the cook now. Anson should demand more creative control and do a Shatner demanding more screen time. Yeah, but then it'll just be like an episode of MasterChef. Got to jump off here. Always a pleasure. Spree, it is an absolute genuine pleasure to have you here as always. And I shall be in touch. And you look after yourself and look after your family. Much love to you. Yeah, Pike will cook for season 3 as well. He'll be like, there'll be a few negotiation episodes when hospitality is needed, and Pike will be brought in to host the negotiations, but not to be a negotiator, to host them, only to host them, so he can cook his famous or Neelix's famous Alabasque or whatever. Yeah, much love to you, Spree. Take care. Yeah. Spock, that's not Spock. That's Spork. It's got to be Spork, hasn't it? It's not Spock. That guy's not Spock. Just awful. Just awful. Uhura's not really Uhura. Uhura did not sit in the captain's chair until an episode from the animated series. Uhura in Strange New Worlds is weird because everybody knows who Uhura is, but she doesn't think everybody knows who Uhura is. But everybody knows the Chief Communications Officer. Of course they do. The whole ship would be bloody aware. Anson needs to get out of the kitchen. It was so stupid seeing him in the kitchen again and again. Uhura looks awful. Yeah. Again, it's bringing the standard of beauty down to a more pedestrian level to make people relate to these characters. I do not, when I'm watching John Wick, want to relate with John Wick. I want to watch John Wick headshot as many people as possible. You can care about a character like John Wick, but I don't want to relate to the guy. I'm nothing like John Wick, and that's the thing. A lot of movies now, people are saying I can relate to this character because they're so much like me now. What, dull, boring, one-dimensional, uninteresting, morbidly overweight, underweight, pedestrian, dull. No. I want my movie heroes, I want my action stars, I want my sci-fi characters to be larger than life, to be interesting, to be something I can only ever aspire to be. I watch a YouTube channel, it's Dr. Becky something, she's an astrophysicist, and I watched the video which was like a day in the life of an astrophysicist, and I found myself admiring her life. Yeah, because she's an astrophysicist at Oxford University, or Cambridge University, whichever, whatever you refer to it as. She was. I was watching this video thinking, oh, what an enviable existence you have. You get to watch the night sky. You get to theorize with your colleagues and get paid to think about the universe. What an admirable existence that is. And not for 1 second would I want any institution to drop the grade for required to get a PhD in order for me to have one. Because it's out of my reach currently. If I spent 10 years and thousands of pounds, I could probably become an astrophysicist. I think I'm intelligent enough. But I don't have that time in my life to be able to do that, and I didn't pick that choice, make that choice. But I certainly wouldn't want anyone to move the goalposts for me. Every single film and mainstream mainstream Hollywood film and TV show is now lowering the standards. And I'm absolutely sick and tired of it now. Uhura, Nichelle Nichols, when she was playing Uhura, was positively one of the most beautiful women I had ever seen on television. Wasn't she just stunning? And I'm not even talking about the dress, the short skirt. You know, I'm talking about everything. Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy, wasn't she just gorgeous? Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley. Wasn't she just gorgeous? And I could do the same with blokes. You know, I have my man crushes, my heterosexual man crushes, because I can find that you know, movie stars can be attractive. Men can be attractive. And when you are hired because you're not attractive and your key role is to play someone who is not attractive, you either embrace it or you get offended. Okay, we'd like you to play Mr. Brad Pitt. Thank you for coming in. The role we're thinking of for you is a fat, overweight, vest-wearing, greasy, balding motel owner who pervs on innocent girls, innocent young women who come to their establishment, and there's cockroaches everywhere. It's really low rent. Would you be, or we think you're perfect for the role, Mr. Pitt? Do you honestly think that sounds in any way feasible? Now, don't get me wrong, they did it with Colin Farrell in The Batman. They made him into the Penguin. But you couldn't tell it was Colin Farrell! There was nothing of Colin Farrell there. He was in a fat suit. And they changed his face. Colin Farrell was underneath that makeup, but his physical appearance was not that of Colin Farrell. I couldn't even tell it was Colin Farrell, aside from an occasional glint of the eyes. You could barely tell it was Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder until he got angry and started shouting. The standard does not drop. It should never drop to allow other people to participate who have an unfair disadvantage. Guess what? That's life. Stop lowering the standards of beauty in the things that we enjoy, the things that we watch, because the standards are there to aspire to. It really fucks me off. It really does. I don't know whether you can tell. Big Bruiser, Hideo's haircut. Just on Watch Nerd. In comparison, Chapel is 7 of 9 level hot to the other female characters. With the greatest of respect to the actress who plays Chapel, she is no Jerry Ryan. Well, Jerry Ryan, to be fair, is still looking stunning these days. And she's in a, I want to say, mid-50s? She's definitely in her 50s, isn't she? And she looks absolutely stunning again. But then, you know, you've got the likes of Helen Mirren. Jesus Christ, what would any man give to have a dinner with Helen Mirren? I'd give anything to have dinner with Helen Mirren. I think she's possibly one of the most beautiful older women I've ever seen. I absolutely adore Helen Mirren. But the standard is there. Not every woman at Helen Mirren's age looks like Helen Mirren. It's just, she got lucky with, you know, with biology there. But it certainly doesn't mean that anyone can be the next Helen Mirren. Which relates to your point about of intentionally making characters more physically unattractive. Yeah, it's to make them more pedestrian, so people can relate. Because everybody's got to relate with everybody in media. I should feel like I can be the next Tony Stark because I've got a beard. No! The characters are larger than life to inspire you, to make you a better person. Star Trek always did that. Yeah, name an ugly Star Trek actor. Pardon me for putting it that way. Even all the Klingon women were just fit as fuck underneath. Just don't lower the standard for other people. I suppose the problem with the modern message of I'm good enough is that it leaves you with nothing to aspire for. Yeah, again, you know, if everybody had all the same things, what would we need? If everybody had the same amount of money, if everybody, you know, there'd be no aspiration to be a better person, to that leads to entrepreneurship. There'd be nothing. There'd be no point. There'd be nothing to get better at. It's like when I started YouTube. If I had said to the YouTube community, I'm starting YouTube, I'm as good as all the other YouTubers. And if you don't agree, then you're being YouTuberist. You're discriminating against me because I'm new. It doesn't matter that my content is shite and I'm awkward on camera and I don't look at the camera. I still don't, to be fair. But I'm actually looking at the chat. It wouldn't matter. If I expected YouTube to lower its standards so I could be more successful, then I'm missing the whole fucking point of the Enterprise itself. Not the ship, but the YouTube as a system. Turns out I have to put more input in to get less output out in order to be a successful YouTuber, which I'm not. I'm never going to be. But I know that if I try and change the system to make it fairer and easier on me to make the kind of money that Mr. Beast is making, then what's the point in YouTube? What's the point in doing anything? If you are going to pull the top level down to your level so you can say I'm at the top level. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. It's a piss poor way to go through life. It really is. A better message would be I am good enough for today. Tomorrow I'll be better. I couldn't agree with you more, Clayton. You and I are we think in very similar ways. Tomorrow I'll be better. I have that point of view at work. Like tomorrow I'll learn something new. I'll do something better than I did it today. Otherwise, what's the point? You're just existing then. And barely at that. Monk of Magnesia. DW Red Nose Day took Davros out. Doctor Who Red Nose Day took Davros out of the wheelchair. Guess Russell T Davis thought it would be offensive for us in wheelchairs. Saw an evil mastermind in one wrong. Now, if that's the case, that's ridiculous. The world's gone fucking mad, hasn't it? You can't portray anyone evil. You notice the inherent double standard there. You can't portray women as incapable. You can't portray disabled people as evil. You can't portray black people as evil or Asian people as evil or anything like that. But white people, you can do anything you fucking want with them because it doesn't matter. And I don't usually bring up that sort of shit on this channel, but it is something I'm beginning to notice. And redheads in Hollywood, watch your back because you'll be out of a job soon. Redheaded blokes, redheaded women. Anyone you notice that the redheads are just being replaced by black women? All the redheaded characters are being replaced. My next video, I'll get my black friend to come in and do it instead as a joke. You imagine that? Yeah, get him to come in and say, hello guys, I'm UK Danger Man. It's always been this way. But you see my point. Dr. Becky has personality. Yeah, she does. But she's very successful. Now, I wouldn't want to compete with her. And if I did compete with her, I'd expect to be in for a massive journey of my own. But I wouldn't bring I wouldn't diminish someone else's achievements to make mine look better. And that's generally what people are doing nowadays. And it's so bad. I want my heroes, the heroines, to look good, be charming, and to be effable. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's called fantasy. And it's okay to have fantasies. We all had fantasies, all those blokes, and some women, I'm not judging, had fantasies about Seven of Nine. Of course we did. About Deanna Troy. Of course we did. You know. Personally, I love gingers. Anyway, you should go and work in Hollywood then. You know, fight the corner for the gingers. But no, I think look at my knees, I saw that Davros and the Daleks aren't even human. Or from Earth. They're Khalids from Ascaro. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Why bother changing anything? Who inspires you guys in the chat? I'll tell you some of my inspirations in life. Some people I find inspiring. Bob Ross is one, or was one, because he was a masterclass. He could paint things that I could only dream of, but he also showed you how easy it was to paint if you know what you're doing. He is very good, very, very good. Aside from the more mainstream side of him, the physicist Brian Cox, I have always got time to listen to him. Aside from when he goes, you know, oh yes, the world's coming to an end, and you know, climate change, and towing the main scientific party line. I enjoy his presentations, but who inspires you? You know, as a YouTuber, I'd have to say The Drinker is a real inspiration. The Drinker's a success story and a half on YouTube, isn't he, really? Because he was like me, just starting out on YouTube and doing the occasional video, and then one video took off and suddenly he's known throughout the world, the YouTube world. And he's appearing all over the place. And he's a big inspiration for why I do what I do on YouTube. Not that I don't think I'll ever get that big, but at the end of the day, it's not about that. Character-wise, who inspires you? Character-wise, who gives you inspiration? Captain Picard gave me inspiration for how to conduct my life. And Kirk did as well, but in different ways. You can draw on so much inspiration from these characters because of the way that they acted or behaved. They moulded you. Whether you agree with it or not. Whether you agree with this or not. They had some kind of influence on you. They helped mould you to who you are today. By that much or that much, it doesn't matter. I admire R2-D2, the original series, Spock and Worf. Yeah, good. Kira Nerys was for me was a character. Kira Nerys was a great character, and didn't she have a great arc as well? Nimoy Spock, yeah, but that was a shadow of a doubt. In contrast to Kira Nerys, I am mostly indifferent to new Trek characters. Again, name a new Trek character that inspires you. Not a single one inspires me. Not a single new Trek character has ever said anything remotely inspiring to me. At all. Nothing. Zero. There is no inspiration in new Trek whatsoever. Ridiculous. Oh god, I'm getting dry now. So I'm going to call 10 minutes to the end of the stream. A, I'm getting tired. B, I'm actually feeling a little ill at the minute. And C, it's 9:30. So I'm a bit of a lightweight tonight. I don't have work tomorrow, so I may do another stream tomorrow. But we'll see. I'll put that rant in a video, I think. Jerry Ryan was likable as a character, but not because of her boobs, but her poise, delivery, acting, dignity, and writing. Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. It's a little bit to do with the boobs, but it was. You're right. It was to me. It was the whole package. It's a very well done character. Well written, well structured. Her frame was brilliant. The costume design at times was questionable, but I was a fan of the blue and grey number. Was it blue and grey? Oh, I was a fan of that. Complemented the curves. It's like is it Ishari Yar? When I first saw her on screen, it was like, and especially in that cat suit, it's like, how much am I seeing right now? Because it feels like I'm seeing a lot. And she was absolutely gorgeous, and there was something about the hair, and you know how much hairspray they used to put on them. But there was something about her. Wow. And this is the blokey side of me coming out now, so I do apologise, but yeah. Oh. Ishari Yar. Tasha Yar, no, not really so much, but Ishari Yar. Yeah. You know, I already say Picard inspired me. Kirk to some degree. Cisco to other degrees. So it was okay to occasionally get mad. Most new Trek characters are basically unlikable. Even Tuvix was better than them. Tuvix? Poor Tuvix! Fucking Tuvix again. I'm going to go on a mad Tuvix rant. Oh, just another watch nerd. $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Yes to the video rant and stream tomorrow. Yeah, I shall do the video. I shall clip the video rant and I shall put that as an official video on my YouTube channel. Tag it with all the Star Trek tags I can tag, all the angry rant tags I can put on it, and let's see how well it does, because it might do well. I don't know, for just a random rant. Or it might just disappear into obscurity, we'll never know. But thank you so much. You don't need to do that, my friend, but thank you very much. I much appreciate. I do appreciate the support you guys are giving. Whether it be comments, whether it be super chats, whether it be views, likes, sharing the videos, tagging me in the videos, anything like that. It really makes me so so warm in here, knowing that you guys are out there and supporting me the way that you do. So thank you so much for that. It's really blows me away. It really does. I just want to try and speak honestly, make you laugh, have a laugh. You know, a good old natter. And in some ways moan, yeah, I like to moan now and then. Who doesn't? But I just want you guys to know that you're not alone in the way that you feel. And no matter how many people are telling you you are wrong for feeling this, just know that you're not alone. You are not alone. Because my channel's not going anywhere. Not for the time being, anyway. Not as long as I'm able to control that sort of thing. It's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, as far as I'm aware. Now I've just realised I changed my setup. Well, changed it. I've adapted it slightly, so I've got a little bit more room because it's a tiny house, obviously. And I've just I've just forgotten that I haven't put my phaser away. I've been trying to think of where to put my phaser, and I have a phaser, and it works, but I don't know where to put it because I've got no space for it anywhere. I dug it out and I was cleaning out a drawer and there was my phaser, and I just don't know where to put it. So it's just sitting there under the mic. I was thinking, what's that still doing there? I might put it up there, or sort of there. See if I can get some more phasers, get an arsenal going. I'm watching a bunch of kids trying to play dress up. Yeah, loved the phaser. Yeah, that was great. That was a Christmas gift from someone I used to know. Bless him. Yeah, it was lovely. 2 Vics. Oh, why did you mention 2 Vics? 2 Vics deserve to live. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh god, I know that Star Trek stories tend to play God now and then. Of course they do. Just seen something out of the corner of my eye. That was so weird. Anyway, yeah, Star Trek stories, they do play God quite a lot. Tuvix, man. He was an individual. 2 officers died. He was an individual who lived because they died. Wow. I can't say I would have shared Janeway's particular point of view on that one. I'll be honest with you. No, that's nuts. I'm going to call a 5-minute warning there to end of stream. Because I'm getting very tired. I think some more painkillers are in order. But yeah. Well, that's harsh. Janeway was self-righteous at times, to be fair. Yeah, she was. And she was... She was, I think, throughout Voyager, she was punishing herself for the decision that she made, stranding the ship in the Delta Quadrant. You notice she takes any chance she can to take on any dangerous mission that has a surefire way of not coming back. And I think it's a way of avoiding the consequences of her actions. But really, to be fair, she only brought Tuvix back. She only brought Tuvok and Neelix back because they were her friends. And that was a least captain decision I think she ever made. Pike was very good in the awful Star Trek Discovery, but turned into a third lead in Strange New Worlds. Yeah, completely agree with that one, mate. Third lead. It's a shame, isn't it? Because he was the hook. She was more than ready to take out the Krenim in Year of Hell. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was Captain goes down with the ship kind of deal, wasn't it? She was responsible for everything that was happening up until that point, from the very moment that the Voyager was in the Delta Squadron. She would She would try and go on suicide missions all the time. My telepathy's kicking in because I sense there is a wife coming up the stairs. I've given everyone 5-minute warning anyway to end of stream.
Hello.
Hello, wifey. So yeah, I think I may have ranted to the point where I could make a video out of it. So I'm gonna try that tomorrow and re-upload it. See what that does. Yeah, anybody got any final comments they want to make before I end this stream? Through being knackered and full of, I think, eventually full of cold. Floor is yours. Oh, why start? She started joining now. That's it. I've been set off. I've enjoyed the stream. It's been a good one. You've all been absolutely wonderful as per usual. I want to thank you all for your comments, and it's just another watch nerd. Thank you for that super chat. That's it's blown me away. Thank you so much. Thanks to Clayton for joining. Thanks to Spree for popping in. Monk and Magnesia for Wotage. Escalum, thank you very much for your interactions. John Chow, thank you. Value of Nothing, thank you very much. Mike Kess, next going. You're really gonna have to tell me if I get this right. HLB Coma. If that's the way you say it, thank you very much for coming. Thank you to all you guys. It's been wonderful to have you. Wonderful to stream to you. So thank you very much. Rotage, go get some rest. You're damn right. I'm gonna go get some rest. Very dry throat. Peace to all. Be safe. And to you, mate, just another watchbird. Live long and prosper to all. Thank you so much to everybody for joining me. Thank you for putting up with me for this long. And thank you for everything. And I will see you in the next video. Or in the next stream. Until then, look after yourselves. You look after one another. Take care.